Moving on to phase 2, upper body, upper extremity. It's important you stay with the I's, T's, and Y's that we went through in the first phase. You know, you can bump the weight up, but just to refresh your memory, we did them on the ball, did them on the floor. You just want to go a little heavier weights if you can. You know, instead of 3s, maybe go to 5s. But the 3s are usually adequate. But again, increase the hold time a little bit. You know, just a little bit more strengthening in all these. And, you know, with the Y's, I still don't recommend you use dumbbells. Okay, so you want to keep the I's, T's, and Y's going. And the external rotation, this is really where things are ramped up. So instead of using the 3-pounder or the 5-pounder, you want to progress into heavier weights. This is the most important exercise, the sideline external rotation. This builds the key rotator cuff strength, the muscles that hold the ball in the socket. And again, I'm with an 8 now, and I'm coming down real slow. I'm really emphasizing what I call the eccentric portion of the workout. Up. And I got a much heavier weight. This is how you build strength. This is a common technique, as I talked about in the legs, that a lot of the top-end athletes do with their legs to build up that control, that strength that's necessary to reduce injuries. Watch the slow descent. So that's really what we are ramping up to in phase 2. This is the key exercise. And the other things that you should continue as well, I showed you rows before. We want to continue with the rows as well. You know, we can go a step further back, increase the resistance. We can add a little bit of hip rotation in. A little bit more sport specific to skiing. 10 repetitions to 12, slowly emphasizing letting it out nice and smooth. Now, what we're going to add in phase 2 that we didn't do in phase 1 is the push-up. Okay, so again, if you're falling, you got to have good strength through the chest, shoulders to absorb that body weight. Not everyone can do a push-up on the floor, so you can start the most simple level just against a wall. You know, just push-ups against the wall. You know, and progressing to a chair or something more stable, obviously would be better, but, you know, just inclines, back is straight, so it becomes a back exercise for stability as well. Shooting for 10 to 15 reps. And of course, those of you who are more advanced, obviously you want to do the push-up on the floor. Nice and smooth. Now that brings in the issue of wrists. You can see to do a push-up you have to have this motion. And when you fall, you can see how that can load the wrists and cause all types of problems here. So you can even use dumbbells if you can't get your hand in this position to do the push-up. Just putting your hands here keeps your wrist straight. So on the floor, you can do push-ups this way. Nice and slow. Emphasize going down with control, and then up. But if you find you have shoulder pain at certain angles, just bring your elbows by your side more. So I can do a push-up with my elbows by my side, so I reduce the risk of things we call shoulder impingement. And there's nothing wrong doing modified push-ups on the floor from the knees as well. Find a progression that challenges you, that really makes you work. But think about all the times you fall and you've got to absorb your body weight. So push-ups are very important. And like I said, the wrist. That leads into some wrist exercises that you should start. And again, you have to have either bands or dumbbells to do some of these things. So a small investment's not a bad idea. But just the wrist curls, nice and slow, with a weight that you have to work. Now you're going to be stronger with your palms up than you will be with your palms down. So you might go with a little lighter weight with the palms down. 2 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. And the same goes through with the push-ups. A couple sets is ideal. Nice slow motion. So we want to have strong wrists as well. So when you fall, you know, you can take the force and not sprain the wrist. And of course the elbows are working with all these things. That's phase 2.